Have you ever wondered why sometimes a man is drawn to you for reasons that even he can't explain? It's like a mysterious pull, a silent attraction that goes beyond looks, words, or even actions. Today, we're diving into a fascinating journey, unlocking the unusual things men crave from women, all hidden in the stars according to their zodiac signs. Get ready to see love and connection from a whole new magical perspective. Let's get started. There's a silent language that speaks louder than words, a current that flows between two souls even before they consciously recognize it. It's the pull you feel in your chest when someone enters the room. It's the stirring of curiosity, the subtle blooming of excitement, the feeling of home without ever having shared an address. And if you quiet the noise of the world, if you listen beyond the chatter of logic and the lists of what should be, you can feel it, that ancient, unspoken energy that tells you, here is someone whose heart beats a song your heart remembers. But why does this happen? Why do we feel drawn to some and invisible to others? Why do certain men seem captivated not just by beauty, not just by kindness, but by something unusual, hidden, and incredibly rare? The secret lies deeper than the surface, deeper than behavior, deeper than preferences. It lives in the fabric of their being, in the blueprint written in the stars long before they ever spoke their first word. Men, like women, carry with them a silent yearning, desires they often do not fully understand, hidden beneath layers of expectation, tradition, and fear. These desires are ancient. They are cosmic. They are embedded in the signature of their zodiac sign. It's as if the stars themselves programmed a unique longing into each soul, asking not to be judged, but to be known. And when that longing is recognized, truly recognized, without needing to be named, something miraculous happens. A man who feels truly seen for what he longs for but cannot express becomes a man who will love, protect, and honor in ways that even he did not know he was capable of. Each zodiac sign, each pattern of celestial energy maps out a different terrain of emotional need. The Aries man, fiery and forward, needs to feel the dance of challenge, not confrontation, but the lively, magnetic tension of a partner who can run beside him, not behind him. When a woman stands rooted in her own strength while offering the warmth of acceptance, it's as if she becomes a mirror where he sees both his strength and his softness reflected back. Taurus men, on the other hand, with their earthy gravitas, seek the quiet pleasures of stability, but are awakened by gestures of unexpected tenderness. A simple, authentic moment of affection touches something in them that all the riches of the world cannot buy. For Gemini men, whose minds race across 1,000 worlds in a single day, it isn't perfection they seek, but partnership and curiosity. Someone whose voice dances with theirs, spinning new ideas and dreams that keep the spirit alive. Cancer men, wrapped in the tides of emotion, often build walls not to keep others out, but to protect the sacred gardens of their own hearts. Yet, if you can become the quiet presence that assures safety without demand, you'll find that no armor is too thick for the gentle persistence of true understanding. Leo men, so often seen as craving the spotlight, actually ache for a love that sees the boy behind the king, the vulnerable dreamer behind the proud leader. Virgo men, meticulous and detail-driven, long for a love that does not require them to be flawless, but that holds them tenderly in their striving. A love that says, you are good, you are enough, and you are cherished. Libra men seek the harmony they cannot always create alone. Scorpio men who move through life, cloaked in mystery, are yearning not for conquest, but for surrender. The surrender of trust, the surrender of loyalty that has been earned through time and trial. Sagittarius men with their free spirits need the oxygen of faith, a partner who trusts the journey even when the path is unseen. Capricorn men, steady and relentless in their ambition, wish above all for someone who will believe not just in their success, but in their heart's secret dreams, the ones too precious to be spoken easily. But knowing this is not enough. Knowledge is only the seed. Action is the water that makes it grow. To truly connect to these deep cosmic longings, we must shift not just what we do, but who we are being. You must become the living embodiment of safety, of mystery, of challenge, of tenderness, depending on the soul you wish to reach. Psychological strategy tells us that mirroring and validation are two of the most profound tools for connection, but when done without heart, they fall flat. When you offer genuine emotional attunement, when you listen not just to the words, but to the silences between them, you awaken something in a man that cannot be awakened by appearance or accomplishment alone. You create a resonance between your being and his hidden heart. Imagine the difference it would make to see your loved one not as he appears, but as he feels himself to be when he's most vulnerable. When you give praise not for the show, but for the soul. When you offer encouragement not only for victories, but for efforts no one else notices. This, beloved soul, is true connection. True connection does not ask for more. It blesses what already is. True connection does not control or demand. It invites and inspires. When you understand the Zodiac blueprint of a man's hidden needs, you do not manipulate him, you liberate him. You allow his most sacred self to come forward, not in fear, but in freedom. Freedom is the highest form of love. When a man feels free with you, when he feels seen and celebrated for who he truly is, when he no longer has to perform or defend or earn, he will love you with a devotion that outlives time itself. In the end, love is not about changing people to fit your needs. Love is about seeing people clearly enough that they transform into the highest version of themselves simply because they are finally allowed to be. When you align your energy with the silent longings written in his stars, you cease being just a person in his life. You become his home, his mirror, his sanctuary, and his greatest inspiration. We are not here to understand men through judgment or criticism. We are here to feel into their hearts with compassion, curiosity, and wonder. Because just as you long to be chosen, not for your surface, but for your soul, so do they. Love in its purest form is the act of recognizing in another what the world often overlooks and holding that recognition as sacred. You have always had the power to touch lives, to transform relationships, to call forth greatness simply through the alchemy of your attention and presence. The stars offer clues, the heart offers courage, but the magic, the real magic, is within you. There's a divine intelligence moving through every connection, every relationship, every word we speak, and every silence we hold. When we step into love consciously, when we become aware of not just the surface needs, but the soul-level desires of another human being, we transform ordinary relationships into sacred contracts. Motivational advice is not about lists of tactics or rules to memorize. It is about remembering who you truly are and who they truly are beneath the layers of fear, performance, and defense. Every relationship you hold in your life is a reflection of the energy you bring into it. When you shift from the mind to the heart, when you move from trying to fix or change into simply seeing and affirming, you awaken the most powerful force known to humanity, authentic connection. Imagine waking each day with the commitment not to get love, but to give it freely, generously, abundantly, without expectation of return. Imagine the shift in your relationship when you stop asking, am I getting what I want? And start asking, how can I recognize the beauty that already lives here? When you become the safe space where someone can unfold, you do more to heal and inspire them than any advice, criticism, or even praise ever could. Motivational energy in a relationship is not about cheering someone on from the sidelines of their life. It is about standing with them, soul to soul, and reminding them, even in their darkest moments, that their light is real, that their worth is intact, that their dreams matter. You are not just a participant in your relationships, you are a creator of them. Every thought you think about someone, every feeling you hold in your body when you are near them is a contribution to the energetic field between you. When you approach someone, especially someone you love, from a place of genuine appreciation, gratitude, and curiosity, they feel it. They may not consciously understand it, but their soul recognizes it. And the soul always responds to truth. When you consistently offer motivational energy, the energy that says you are capable, you are worthy, you are enough, you become the architect of miracles in your relationships. You become the reason someone believes again in love, in trust, in their own dreams. And in doing so, you yourself are transformed. There is a sacred dance in every meaningful connection, the dance between strength and softness. This balance is not just desirable, it is necessary. Strength without softness becomes coldness. Softness without strength becomes instability. But together, they create the magnetic, powerful, unforgettable experience that every soul longs for. Strength in a relationship is not the rigid armor of pride or stubbornness. True strength is the open-hearted resilience to stay present, even when it is uncomfortable. It is the courage to speak truth with kindness. It is the ability to hold your own boundaries with love, not anger. The strength of saying, I love you too much to betray myself, and I love you too much to betray you. It is the solid ground on which real intimacy can be built. Softness, on the other hand, is not weakness. It is the highest form of bravery. Softness is the willingness to be vulnerable, to be touched by another's joy and by their pain. It is the grace to forgive, the humility to learn, the tenderness to hold space for someone's healing without rushing it, fixing it, or fearing it. So Herrhythmic, the softness is the sweet balm that soothes the wounds of life, the nurturing soil where dreams take root. When you embody both strength and softness, you become a living invitation for someone else to do the same. You give permission for authenticity to rise, for defenses to fall, for hearts to meet in the sacred space of truth. Strength and softness must live together in you, not as performance, but as natural expressions of your true self. You do not have to force them. They are already there, written into the architecture of your being, waiting to be remembered, reclaimed, and radiated into the world. When you become the strong, soft presence that someone can trust, respect, and adore, you awaken the highest form of love. Not attachment, not control, but freedom, devotion, and true partnership. And yet, even as we become more conscious in our relationships, it is not enough to stay in the mind. Emotional engagement, feeling into the moment, responding from the heart, honoring the invisible energy moving between you is what brings relationships to life. Words alone do not build connection. Energy does. Presence doesn't. Love is not an idea. It is an experience. When you truly engage emotionally with someone, you step into the sacred now. You put down your fears of the future, your regrets of the past, and you listen, you see, you feel. Let your heart speak louder than your fears. Emotional engagement requires radical presence. It means letting go of the urge to fix or advise or control, and instead being fully with another in their joy, their confusion, their sadness, their dreams. It means listening not just for the words, but for the longing behind the words. It means asking yourself in every interaction, what is needed here? Understanding, encouragement, silence, laughter, faith. And it means offering that gift without bargaining, without calculation, without expectation. Because love, real love, does not bargain. It gives because to give is to live. When you live from emotional engagement, you become an alchemist of energy. You transform fear into safety, loneliness into belonging, doubt into possibility. You awaken the buried dreams in another's heart simply by the power of your unwavering, loving attention. This is not the path of the faint of heart. It requires vulnerability, patience, forgiveness, especially forgiveness of yourself when you fall short. But it is the path to magic, to miracles, to a kind of love that writes itself into the marrow of your bones. The relationships you dream of are not somewhere outside you, waiting to be found. They're waiting to be created moment by moment through the energy you bring to them. You are the source. You are the answer. You are the magic. And when you shift your focus from demanding more to becoming more, everything begins to change. When we move beyond surface level interaction, when we set aside the patterned ways we have been taught to relate to others, we find that the true art of connection lives in flow. Flow is not static. It is not predictable. It is not controlled. Flow is dynamic, alive, and it demands that we surrender our expectations in favor of presence. In a relationship, maintaining flow means choosing curiosity over certainty, wonder over judgment, openness over assumption. It means remembering every single day that no matter how well you think you know someone, there are still new worlds within them to discover. Just as a river is never the same river twice, a soul is never the same soul twice. The moment we stop being curious about another human being is the moment we stop truly seeing them. And when we stop seeing them, they stop feeling alive in our presence. Curiosity is the breath that keeps the flame of connection alive. It is the subtle but powerful energy that says, I want to know you, not just who you were yesterday, not just who you were a year ago, but who you are becoming now in this very breath. When we cultivate curiosity, we breathe life into our relationships. We allow ourselves to be surprised, to be delighted, to be awed all over again by the mystery unfolding in front of us. And mystery is sacred. Mystery keeps love from becoming a habit. It transforms it into a daily discovery, a living, breathing miracle. But curiosity requires humility, requires the willingness to admit that we do not have someone figured out, that we cannot map the full expanse of their soul. It demands that we show up without the armor of certainty and instead wear the gentle garments of wonder. And wonder, when combined with love, creates a frequency so high, so pure, that it naturally dissolves the walls between people. It invites them out of hiding. It says here, you are safe to be more than you have been, safe to grow, safe to change, safe to expand. When you offer this energy to someone, you become more than a partner. You become an ally of their evolution, a witness to their becoming. And there is no greater gift than this. In every soul lies a deep longing to be known, not superficially, not functionally, but intimately. To be known is to be loved in the places we are most afraid are unlovable. To be seen without the mask, without the performance, and to still be cherished. Deep emotional connection is not something that happens by accident. It is a conscious act of bravery. It is the decision to lower your own defenses first. It is the willingness to listen not just with your ears, but with your whole being. It is the sacred art of feeling into another's heart without rushing to fix, to advise, or to control. And when you do this, when you hold space for someone's truth without flinching, you create a bond that transcends time, that outlives circumstances, that grows stronger even through adversity. True emotional connection is built not in the grand gestures, but in the ordinary moments. The glance across a crowded room that says, I see you. The quiet hand on a back that says, I'm here. The patient listening when words are tangled in fear or shame. It is built when we stop trying to impress and instead dare to be impressed. By the courage it takes for someone to show up at all. By the tender places in them that still hope, still dream, still trust. And yet, to sustain deep emotional connection, we must understand one more sacred truth. We do not own the people we love. We do not get to sculpt them into images that please us. We do not get to demand that they stay the same so we can feel safe. True love honors emotional independence. Recognizes that the soul's journey is individual, even when paths intertwine. It trusts that growth will not lead to separation, but to greater union if both hearts are committed to walking toward one another, even as they walk toward their highest selves. Respect for emotional independence is a profound act of love. It says, I do not need to clip your wings to feel secure. I trust you to choose me freely. I celebrate the ways you are expanding, even when that expansion stretches me into discomfort. I choose faith over fear. I choose freedom over control. I choose to love the evolving, dynamic, ever becoming you. This is not passive love. It is fiercely active. So it requires us to do the inner work of healing our own insecurities, our own wounds, so that we do not make others responsible for our sense of safety. It asks us to be strong enough to say, I am here with you, but I do not need to possess you to keep you. I am in awe of your journey, and I am grateful to be invited to witness it, to walk beside you, to cheer for you even when your dreams take you into unknown territory. When we honor emotional independence, we create relationships that breathe, that thrive. As we move from codependency into interdependence, a sacred dance where each soul supports the other's growth, not out of obligation, but out of overflowing love. And in doing so, we liberate not just the ones we love, but ourselves. You were never meant to shrink yourself to keep a relationship. You were never meant to demand shrinking from another. You were meant to rise together, to walk hand in hand, not toward comfort, but toward truth. And in truth, love becomes not a cage, but a sky. Not a burden, but a blessing. Not a transaction, but a transformation. Every relationship you enter is an invitation to become more loving, more present, more courageous, more free. It is an opportunity to create something beautiful, not from force, but from flow, not from fear, but from freedom. And the choice to accept that invitation is made not once, but every single day. Of the power is in your hands. The future is not something you are waiting for. It is something you are creating, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, choice by conscious choice. Growth and evolution are the natural laws of the soul. Nothing in nature stays stagnant. The rivers do not ask permission to change their course. The trees do not apologize for growing taller, reaching higher, deepening their roots. In the same way, you are never designed to stay the same. You were created to expand, to shed old skins, to step again and again into the unknown possibilities of who you are becoming. And just as it is true for you, it is true for every person you love. To truly honor a relationship, to truly honor a soul, you must be willing to honor its evolution. You must see beyond who someone was, beyond even who they are today, into the glorious unknown of who they are destined to become. Love is not a snapshot frozen in time. It is a river. It is a dance. It is a song that is always being rewritten by the experiences, the dreams, the awakenings that life brings. To love someone deeply is to say, I will not cling to an outdated version of you. I will not hold you hostage to the past. I will make space for you to outgrow who you once were, even if it stretches me, even if it challenges what I thought I needed. Because true love, real love, the kind of love that transforms everything it touches, is not about possession. It is about participation. It is about choosing again and again to love the becoming, to love the unfolding, to love the journey, even when the map is unclear. There is unimaginable beauty in growing alongside another soul, witnessing their fears, their breakthroughs, their failures, and their triumphs, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of deep reverence. It is a sacred privilege to walk beside someone who is courageously evolving, and it is a sacred responsibility to do your own evolving too. Because relationships are living organisms. They either grow or they decay, and they flourish or they wither. They expand into greater freedom and intimacy, or they contract into fear and control. The choice is always before you. Will you resist the flow of change, or will you step into it with open arms, with a brave heart, with a spirit so alive that even the unknown feels like home? Every zodiac sign reveals a hidden emotional desire men themselves often don't even express out loud. When you tune into these deeper needs, relationships don't just survive, they thrive with passion, understanding, and deep emotional connection. If this journey through the stars and hearts fascinated you, let's keep this beautiful conversation going. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you recognize these secret desires in someone you know? Like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more powerful insights into love, connection, and lasting happiness. And hey, I would love to know, what topics would you like us to explore next? Drop your ideas below. Let's grow this amazing community together, because the best is yet to come. Stay connected, stay inspired, and remember, love is not just written in the stars. It's written in the little things we do every day. Subscribe now and be part of this beautiful journey of heart and soul.